Start your engines and buckle up. You are in for a wild ride as we run down the Ramen Racer, the Makina line, and the Master of the Verse heads with our special guest Ace from Ramen Toy right now on Toy Habits Live. And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael. Oops. I think the sorceress might be frozen. Oh, there she is. I think you were frozen for a bit, sorceress. All right, looks like we're having some technical issues. But anyway, let's see. I'm not sure if we can hear the sorceress. Oh, there you go. Okay, you're back now. All right. Oh, she might be having some technical difficulties. But anyways, welcome back to Toy Habits. And thank you so much for joining us. We will wait for the toy sorceress to come back. But we just wanted to welcome everyone here. And thanks so much for being here. Yeah, it looks like she had some technical issues. So she will just come back when she's ready. But yes, we can start. It's just me for now. We can start just by saying hello to the folks that are in the chat. And while we're waiting for the sorceress to come back, we have My Buddy's Customs, Payne's Toy Samples. What's up? Pride of Grayskull's in the house. Jamie Vaughn. Joe is in the house. Hello. Ryan. Daniel, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. You always kick off the show. To do that. Hello, sorceress, you're back.
I am back. I don't know if it was me or you or the internet gods, but something.
I've been here the whole time.
I got totally kicked off.
That's all good. All good. We were just running through the folks in the chat while we were waiting for you to come back. So anyways, happy you're back. How the heck are you?
Yes.
You're good?
I think so.
Okay. Awesome. How's your day been?
Good. Just doing some work and stuff at home, but relaxing. Had a busy day yesterday with the family and everything. So hit a snafu in traffic because I think the VP was visiting and stopped the whole 405 freeway.
Got it.
But besides that, it was great.
That's good. That's good. Well, we have a fantastic. My day was good. Just doing some errands. We have some work being done on the side of the house, trying to build a shed for my extra stuff that I can't contain in the garage. So that is life. All right. Awesome. Okay. So. All right, it looks all right, sorceress. It looks like you're frozen again. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get through today. Yes, Pride of Grayskull. Yes, we are building a toy shed. All right, what is up, Robert? Okay, so I think the sorceress might have to fix some technical difficulties, but wanted to just give a special shout out to our Toy Habits crew. And we know you know who you are on here. We also just want to mention that we have a new member since last time, Atomic Yeti, and yeah, let's see. Yeah, we gotta have the sorceress fix that dial up. So I think she just dropped again. So we'll see if we can get her back. But if not, we have another guest that we'll bring on very soon after we get finished with some of our housekeeping. But anyway, hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day, and we can't wait for Ace to come on, and let's see if the sorceress will come back very soon. And when she does, we will bring on our special guest. So, well, good. All right, let's see, where did we stop? All right, we got Emerald Knight Customs, Emerald Knight Photos. We have Kelvin. Clint is in the house, one of our crew members. Black Phoenix, Cowabunga Dude. We have Frank and Jay's Dioramas. Kato's Collections, Silver Surfer, Rob 2003, and we had some more folks joining as we are kicking this off. So, all right, here, let's do this, and let me just check in to see. Okay, so Sorceress is trying to log in again, so we'll see if she comes on, and she has a better internet this time. But yes, I want to wait for her to come back on because we do have a special announcement that she worked really, really hard on. So we will see if she comes back soon. And what is up, All Music Fan 88? Actually, while the Sorceress is trying to dial in, I went to Target and found some Wave 8 Masterverse figures that are hitting the shelves and some other stuff, thinking that it's past April, we shouldn't be seeing new Masterverse or new Masters of the Universe figures on the shelf. We have seen them. It's past April. Motu is not dead at retail again, but finding some really cool stuff, some vintage Boba Fett and some other from the vintage collection. And I did find a Captain Rex Lego helmet that I want to build. So that was my exciting haul for the week. I just went out and was like, ooh, surprise. All right. So, all right, let's do this. We were going to punt our special, yes, Vex. Yes, I do have some new figures on the shelf too. We were going to punt our, let's see if she is.
Oh my God. I am
Okay, all
so
right.
sorry. I don't know what's going on with my internet connection.
You're back. All right. So I was killing time. And so now that you're back, let us do our special announcement. So Sorceress, why don't you take this one away?
Well, we have some exciting news for all our viewers out there. We actually launched our Toy Habits merch shop yesterday, which is so exciting. I mean, at least for us anyway. We put together a whole bunch of really cool Toy Habits logo and crew merch, and as well as some very awesome vintage toy inspired merchandise, t-shirts. We got hats, we have mugs, we have tumblers, we got tote bags, and all of the vintage toy designs on there. I gotta tell you, that is from my personal toy collection. All the figures that you see on there are all mine from my personal collection, all my very own photography. And so Michael and I worked really hard on getting this site up, and we worked very hard on these designs. We hope you like them. The shirts are actually really soft and comfortable. I'm wearing lino right now, so it's actually really nice quality stuff. But if you guys love, of course you're watching Motu, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, Star Wars. We got some really cool merch on there. So go on to Toy Habits website under shop, official merchandise, official merch, and you'll find our shop page there. I can't be more excited because I love having, like vintage toys on shirts and stuff like that and mugs, and it's my stuff. So it's super fun. What do you think, Michael?
Oh, that's awesome. I love all these designs, and it's like you would surprise me with all this stuff. You were like, I have an idea, and she was like, showed me all this stuff, and I was like, that's really awesome. That's so cool. There's so many
We'll
things.
keep growing it. We'll keep adding more stuff on there. So this is our first opening salvo, if you want to call it that.
Yes.
And which is what we got out just to get the shop going. But we'll keep growing it and adding some cool new stuff. And Joe was actually our first person to buy a t-shirt. So thank you, Joe. You're our very first customer. And then, Clint bought some shirts, and then we had a few other people get some shirts, and they shipped them already super fast. We just launched the site yesterday, and I looked, and they went into production within an hour or two, and a couple of them already shipped. So you'll get them super fast. Yeah.
So cool. Yes, definitely agree with Frankie. Yes, I mean we're biased. We think the merch is on fire, and the Thundercats and He-Man is it's all good. Awesome work, Sorceress.
Oh, thank you. I want to do something fun that like you'll enjoy wearing. It's not like we're just trying to like advertise, toy habits.
Yeah.
We're trying to say like, hey, this is the stuff that we love, right? And what more of a way to get to your heart than nostalgic vintage toys? So that's kind of why we went there.
Yes. Definitely. All right. So we have a special guest today, and we want to bring on our special guest, and he is the founder of a toy company described as retro, modern, 80s, and artistic, and our favorite descriptor, nostalgia. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please give a huge Toy Habits welcome to Ramen Ace from Ramen Toy, who had to wake up at the BC at dawn for this live stream. So good morning. How are you doing, Ace?
Good morning. Thank you, Michael and Sorceress, for having me on your show. I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. Just woke up. Actually, it's about 6:15 a.m.
So Ace,
here.
is it
Yep.
is it Monday morning or is it
Yes,
Sunday
it's
morning?
Monday. Yes, I'm actually in the future.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
weird.
you jumped in your DeLorean and you skipped the day to
Yeah,
to
pretty
tomorrow.
much.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
much. Yeah.
That's
That is so cool. Like so
I gotta work on a
Ace,
DeLorean project.
do you
Sorry?
normally start your day at this time?
No, normally about 7 plus 8.
Okay.
So I got up at 5 a.m.
Wow.
Sort of to get my coffee and get myself ready for this. So yeah.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Yeah, and
We appreciate
before we dive in, I wanted to mention that Ace is a friend of the channel, and we are not being paid whatsoever or getting free stuff from Ramen. We have him on because we think his work is outstanding, and so we're just excited to talk about these projects. So I just wanted to make that known, just in case people were wondering.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. And all right, so we actually have a lot to get through, and there's so many exciting things to talk about. And so what we're going to be doing is running through the Ramen Racer, the Makina line, and also the Masters of the Verse heads. And so let's dive in. Ace, and I think the Ramen Racer needs a proper introduction before we dive into the details. And so I just want to cue up this little video just so people can get super excited about it.
you guys.
All right,
All
Ace,
right.
that's outstanding. That gets me fired up all the time. So
No pun
freaking,
intended, right?
I know, right? Also, congrats on breaking 1,000 units sold. I mean, that's a feat, and so excited for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely very humbling experience. We set out to do this pretty much with about a lot of cold feet because we have a certain amount of quantities to meet, and we are not yet. I mean, we're just like 3 years into the game, and something like this is not. It doesn't come by every day, right? We have a project that doesn't come by every day that we go above 1,000 units sold within a week. So it's pretty a milestone that we reached.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm super pumped about this, and from what I've seen from the images and the video, this racer looks outstanding. And there's
Thank you.
so many freaking options to it too. It's amazing.
Yeah, the whole idea is,
Yeah, I know, right?
as I mentioned, the whole idea, as I mentioned many times, is that we wanted to find out how we could really gather the support for the project. And obviously, if we had just gone that one route, then we were targeting just one specific audience. So, how about just change up a few things and try to give more on the menu and try to grab more people to be invested or interested in the vehicle. So aside from having something with flames, you can have it as a normal car, generic muscle car, and you can change out the grills and have a different look. You can change out the tail lights to have a different look, change out the rims and have a different look, and the rest is history, basically. Yeah.
That's
Thanks,
crazy.
Frankie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's great
there's
how
so
it's
many.
so easy to interchange parts, right?
That's so cool. Yeah, it's like we are. Yeah, Kato ordered the tiger orange, and we'll soon be ordering the black. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, I actually wanted to dive into the tiger orange version first, but again, I wanted to cue this one up as we should, right? Just to also get folks excited about this, because I don't know, if people know what this might be based on, but the horn is going to give you a nice clue on this one. So let's take a look. All right. That's just nuts. That horn just brings back so much nostalgia. I think especially for you, Sorceress, right?
Oh my god! When I saw this, I was like so excited and like over the moon. When I was a kid, I always wanted the Migo version of which I have here of the General Lee with Bone Luke Duke, and my grandmother used to take me on the weekends. Sometimes I hang out with one of her friends' kids, and the mother always used to take this kid to Toys R Us to buy stuff. And one day she's like, "Oh, let's hop in the car and go to Toys R Us." So she dragged all of us with her, and she buys the kid the General Lee with Bone Luke Duke, and then leaves the store. And I, of course, I'm empty-handed. She bought it for him, and he's like playing around all afternoon, making it jump and stuff. And I remember that day so clearly because I was so jealous. Like I really wanted that Migo General Lee. And of course, years later, when I could afford it as an adult collector, I was able to add this to my collection. But when I was a kid, that was always something I loved because I loved the show. It was one of my favorite TV shows growing up. So the fact that you made this, Ace, is like near and dear to my heart. And now you got to work on a Bone Luke Duke 6-inch scaled figures for it. Like we need some drivers. That was coming, right?
So will you be getting the orange car or Sorceress?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
But you got
Great.
Bone Luke.
Yeah. Thank you.
I need
Thank
'em.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. You can see the possibilities here, Ace, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But, we need our drivers. We need Bone Luke. We got to have him in there. I couldn't help it. That was a tribute to your amazing project. The nostalgia when you look at this thing is just flowing all over. So I wanted everyone to enjoy that.
Thank you.
So Ace, I guess when you were thinking about this racer, did you actually plan on making this, or kind of, I guess, where did this orange version come in to the equation here?
Well, it honestly, I had no idea about this TV series. We never had it in Singapore, so it's a suggestion brought by Patrick from Riot Press, and we're working with him on his Last of the Seekers project. So we are actually tooling and making production for that particular action figure transformer, basically. So Patrick was saying, hey, if you're doing this muscle car, how about making it orange? And we got a market for it. I said, yeah, why not? So the rest is history.
Oh, it totally is. Yes. And yeah, I guess we have the images from Riot Press with one of the stickers on, and man, this looks freaking amazing. Just adding that 01 on there, just it totally changes the look of the car.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
The
And
devil is in the details. Yeah.
it looks amazing. And you were saying that there's a sticker sheet that's available on request for this.
Yes,
one, right?
definitely. Yep. So the sticker sheet will allow you to recreate your memories for the car, And yeah, that's what we hope.
That's awesome. Yeah, I
That's
think you
fantastic.
got this choice. You got the sorceress with this one. So.
Great.
Oh,
All right, we got
that
it.
that just went straight to heart. Love it.
It's
Love
gonna be
it.
so cool when you display that 20-inch car amongst your other orange vehicles that you have there. So yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and
Uncle Jesse's
yeah,
like
and
getting
then
real excited.
there we go. Yeah.
yeah, and Ryan was saying
I got them all here.
Ramen Toy looks like it does a good job capturing a lot of detail. Yeah, I think that was the one thing that struck me about this particular project was I mean, we're going to see all the details here, but eventually in all the pictures, but it's like an onion. You keep peeling it back and peeling it back, and there is so much fine detail in here that I can't wait to see this in hand. And I'm sure, Ace, you've been looking at this night and day, and just from the interior, the exterior, the wheels, the grills. I mean, it's all amazing.
Yeah, and the more I look at it, the more I feel there's so much more to be done. Again, we only had like 3 months to get it out. If I had more time, if it wasn't also a factor that I mean, time is a factor. When people are having well, not really the word hype, but there's a fever for it. You got to get it done soon, otherwise it sort of dies down. Like the '89 Masco Batman, that was been 3 years, right? So yeah, when people like something, they wanted to get it yesterday. So I am expediting the production of this project. But like I said, I look at it and I said to myself, oh, we can actually do much more if we have more time to really like spice it up. But then again, of course, that would maybe affect the cost of the project. But yeah,
I mean, you totally nailed it. Like if you look at sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you see you're saying.
It just keeps cutting out. So I thought there was a pause there. I apologize.
Yeah, no problem.
No, I was just going to say you absolutely nailed it. If you look at the detail, like on the rims and the grill, the front bumper, and everything, it's absolutely the charger from the show. I mean,
yeah, and there's also going to be another antenna at the back.
even the welded doors.
Yeah, well, it's actually not welded doors. The doors do open. That's the thing. The doors do open versus not opening.
I know.
But of course, if you don't want to open it, you can always I don't know, add some crazy glue and seal it shut. So yeah, the doors definitely open.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, and also too, just there is some
Ace,
crackling.
did you have to watch some episodes of the show to get to know it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, can you say again, Sorsa? So that crackling issue that we've had in the past is back again. So sorry, and it's making it hard to hear. So yeah, if you could say what you just said again.
Is there a internet issue? I guess so.
Is it on my end or all three of you having the same problem?
It's just you. It's that same issue that we were trying to troubleshoot that other day, right?
What? I'm gonna log. Let me just restart my computer. I'll hop back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right. We'll see you in a sec. So thank you, chat, for letting us know. But I think the sorceress, the toy sorceress, was asking you if you'd watched the, I guess, clips of the show or kind of.
Yeah, I was watching some of the clips on YouTube, and I realized that most of the how should I say it? There's actually people owning a car that looks like that in real life, and they're filming themselves, drifting and spinning around.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so that's interesting.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so I think the details are on the Ramen Toy website around the pre-order and things like that. But still early bird until May 9th, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Still early. Yep.
And let's see. For for this one, let's see. Yeah, I mean, so kind of like all the taillights kind of, does it have all the lighting effects like we first saw in that first video with all,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
definitely. So we have a base model, and the base model is having all the same features. The only difference between the graphite black and the tiger orange is uh the push bar on the tiger orange. That's different. The CB antenna on the tiger orange, which will include on the final production, not shown here, and of course, unique rims that identifies the car to that particular model. So you'll get those rims with the tiger orange, but with the graphite black, you I'm sorry, you get a different kind of rims. I choked on myself. Sorry
it's
about that.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things, like the attention to detail here, even down to the rims, because you could have just put other rims on there, you know, the ones that you use for the other car, but no, it's like you needed to get that fine detail on there, which I think is fantastic, and I think that's what makes this super special.
Yeah, but Michael, thanks to the people, the fans who actually alerted me to the fact, because again, we were trying to minimize cost,
Mhm.
and initially it was supposed to be just one set of rims that we showcased. Again, we don't want to get something too close to something so that we are having some leeway.
Yeah.
But the fans said that if you want to do this, you got to get the right rims on, and then I said, okay, let's get the right rims on. So these rims were incorporated much later in the game, so much so that I couldn't get it onto the prototypes because they were so late incorporation. We were already pretty much done with the prototype when the calls for getting the correct rims
Oh,
were made, and we did a update on the Facebook showing the 3D model of what we have rendered. But we made it clear that those rims will be incorporated only at the final production. You will not see it in the prototype because the prototype was already done, and that was the thing that people have to take note, right? So you're not actually getting what the prototype is suggesting
mhm.
because the prototype's rims are available now, put into the interchange pack instead. Yeah, if that makes
Oh, that's
sense.
awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. You're back, sorceress.
Is it better now, the connection?
I am. I, I think so. I hope I don't have to go and like restart my router because that would take longer. But I hope let's cross our fingers that that I'm good.
All right. It is a little better. So that's awesome. All right.
That's
Um
good.
yes. So
Yeah.
let's see. All right. So yeah, this was the shot that we wanted to plant the seed, and just, say if
Yes.
you get thousands of more orders for this orange car, let's let's start making some figures. But no. That's only our
we,
this is a
we
bonus.
need our drivers.
Yes. All
I
right.
keep Raven Ace about it.
And then Ace, we also have the base model in graphite black, which I mean
Yes.
that there looks unbelievable.
Yeah, that is obviously a
Yeah.
render. And we show the actual prototype so that you know that what we have done is going to look uh, as close as, if not better than the renders. Yeah, because most of the time people are skeptical about, your render is like that, but what happens with the real product, right? So yeah, we always make sure that the product is going to look better than the renders. Yep.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And yeah, and I think this one too. So I actually had a question in this one. What does electroplating mean?
Yeah, electroplating is all the chrome.
Oh.
Mhm.
So in the
That's good.
renders there, you cannot see the chrome because it's not. It is obviously a Hot Wheels, right? So it's
Mhm.
just the chrome plating. So this is chrome plating.
That looks great.
Yep. So you're gonna see those on the actual Ramen Racer.
That's so cool. Yes, and we
Yep.
we do have we do have some pics in a bit of what the actual racer looks like, and also I threw in some pictures of you with it in scale that I found on your Facebook page, so people can get a sense of just the size of this, because it's super impressive. Uh,
Yeah, it is. It is. And I don't know if you guys already talked about the electronics and the fact that Ace, you're going to be including like a rechargeable battery port as well?
We're not including
That's
a rechargeable battery.
Or
The
do you
rechargeable
have
battery,
one available?
yeah,
Separate?
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think that's fantastic. Great idea.
Yeah. And then you're also able to so basically that cord and that charging goes into kind of where the gas can is at the moment, or
Yes.
the
Oh, yeah.
gas cap.
Yes, two positions for the power USB port, one at the gas tank and the other one under the car on the left side behind. Yeah.
That's awesome. So in two places.
Yes, two places. Because we obviously have a difference of opinions, and some people didn't like the wires sticking out from the gas tank. Some liked it. So we give both best of both worlds, right? You can choose to stick it into which site that you want, right? That's the best we can do.
That's awesome. And yeah, I think like one of the things that I really love about what you do is you listen, you have your ear to the fans, and you're not afraid to put yourself out there. Like, you post all of these behind the scenes shots, you post a lot of your pre-production stuff that we don't really see from other companies, which I think is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like just like the level that you bring the fans in. I think everyone really appreciates that, and I don't know if that makes your life more difficult, but I don't think, it might not. I mean, it may or may not, but it's also like what do you pay attention to, right?
Yeah, I think that it's important that people get to see the progress, that they can see the effort, the time spent, that it is not just a snap of the fingers. It goes through reiterations, it goes through yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, I think definitely feel Helder's sentiment here. Oh, oops, sorry. Here it is. Frankie's sentiment when, he says, I love that Ace is a fan as well and willing to communicate with us. Yeah, so that's awesome. I think that's great.
Thank you, Frankie.
Very cool. All right, so let's see. All right, so the interchange pack. So this is
Yes.
actually this is the pack that's going to make all of the changes and all of the, you can basically have your car the way you want it, right?
Right. So the reason why we separated out everything is because not everybody wants a car on fire. That's the first thing, right? So the way to do it is to separate it out, and again, by doing that, those that does not require these things can actually just get the car for 175 plus shipping, of course. So that further reduces the cost layout for the collector, right? This is obviously $11 more, and yeah, that's the whole idea. You can get the base model by itself, and you can actually have it with enough things for your 112 scale figures to be displayed inside, right? So you get your lights, you get your sound and the whole car, and that's it. That 175 would be good enough for most people to display a black or orange vehicle in 112 scale. But if you choose to want to change it up a little bit, just get the interchange pack. You can have new set of rims, wrong wheels, and you get the blower for the supercharger onto the engine.
Mhm.
You can change out the hood for both that option and another one with the air intake. You can change out the front grille to have that particular version on that you see on the screen, and then you obviously can change out the tail lights to have the 4 round brake lights instead. So yeah.
That's awesome. And I think
That's incredible. I'm just trying to. Sorry, is my mic okay now?
no, it's still
Can you
having
hear me?
issues.
No, it's not. I switched to my webcam. Okay, I'll switch my question. Let me try again.
Uh, All right. Yes, we'll try and troubleshoot the toy sorcerer's technical difficulties. But sorry, y'all. All right. So I know that like people who are watching this will have questions, and we always don't want to put you in an awkward situation if you can disclose stuff. If you can't disclose stuff, that's totally fine. But just wanted to surface some questions too. So have you thought about packaging for this at all?
Yeah, packaging will be something similar to what you see of the Thunder Tank, if I may use that as an example. The only difference is that you will not have styrofoam because as of just recently, there is new policies in place in the US. I think by June you will not be able to ship in anything with styrofoam.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would work with bigger things like your household equipment. Like sometimes you get a fridge. You got to have like styrofoam protections on the legs. You get your TV. You got styrofoam protection on the sides. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. But I was getting my engineers to do the styrofoam packaging for the Ramen Racer.
mhm,
I showed them the Tiger tank, the Thunder tank that
mhm.
I'm gonna do it like that, and they said they said no because the styrofoam maker is warning them that if we do this, we might have problems shipping into the US.
Mm.
So again, new policies in place. Again, I'm not I've not done my own research on this particular aspect, but I have to trust the people telling me this. I don't think they're just making it up, right? I'm sure they have some information. Whether or not it's really the case, it's better to be cautious and make it a different packing rather than to go and be stubborn and do it, and then we have problems shipping it in. So that's a different issue. That's a styrofoam thing. We can Google it again. I'll probably do it myself when I have time. So we're going to be changing it to a more like a stock cardboard packaging to hold the car, much like how you would get your uh, MacBook when it's shipped to
Mhm.
you, right? You have
Okay.
it's enclosed in a nice sturdy cardboard. So basically a 4C outer packaging that would slide the car into, and then obviously colored art box on the outside. And for all these packs, we'll have just a simple blister component to, just like a simple blister tray where you have all the parts on there, as thin and as compact as possible, so that we reduce the volumetric component to it. And that's it. There's going to be just a simple, I would say something similar to our most powerful stand in the universe, where it's a non-window box. Yeah.
That's awesome. So cool. Yeah, and like the
Very
interchange
cool.
pack, like the cost for this is like to to give you so many different versions of the car, like $11 and
Um,
$15.90 is
yeah. So again, I've been advised that it might be priced a little bit too low. But then again, if we do price it any higher, that would mean that you are looking at the base car
mhm,
once it's out of early bird pricing, it's going to be 250. You're going to have to add this on, and if it's not 1590, let's say it is 20 or 24, then you have two pieces, that's going to be almost $50, and then you're going to add to your 250, that's almost $300 for the car with all the components. So why uh, make it that price when the whole idea was to try to deliver something that looked like the HasLab, whereby the HasLab was at 350,
mhm.
and the whole idea is to make it as low as we can. So if it's going to come up to somewhere closer to 300, then it defeats the purpose. So we definitely looked at it, and then we again, we wanted to bring the car out. The whole idea was to make sure that we cover the tooling for the car, and that's good enough.
Mhm.
All these extra things like the flame effects and the hoods and all these things, it's meant to drive the sale of the car. So it's like almost like a side dish, right? You want to encourage the sale of your main dish by giving people some complimentary side dishes. So putting the price of those as low as we can, and that's what it is, $15.90 and $11 for the early bird.
Yeah, I mean, and you can make all of these amazing versions of the car. So this is the BL version.
Yep, with the air intake and the rounded tail lights. So for the BL versions, again, some would say that it's not exactly the BL version because the rims are different. But again, we are not able to tool even more rims at the present moment. Right now, this project has 3 rims, 3 sets of wheels. And for those who may not understand, it's not as simple as just do one more, just put it in. When you talk about 4 wheels for a car, then the sizing of the tooling is quite significant. It's no longer just trying to squeeze something into a tool. And another aspect is that the more things you squeeze in a tool, the lesser the quality of the product. But if you dedicate, a tool for one component, then the higher the quality is going to be. It's almost as if it's like trying to get one master craftsman to do one thing. You're going to get a higher quality versus one guy trying to do many things, and then he gets overwhelmed, and then the rest of the stuff is going to be mediocre. And that's and that is actually a truth in tooling, because that's why when you have a tool, the body of the car is only the body of the car. You don't have the body of the car and then say, wait a minute, I can see some space over here. Why don't you put the wheels there, the steering wheel there, yes, you can, but then again, you're gonna result in a poorer quality injection, and that's just the physics of it.
Well,
That's awesome.
makes sense. You guys hear me okay?
Not exactly. I wish I can help you, but it's so yeah, I wish I can help you. I'm not sure
I guess
what's wrong
I'll
with
just sit here quiet.
No.
Sorry.
No. Jeez. Okay.
I'll
We'll
try and get out my question at least. On the Orange Racer, the original General Lee used to have flip up headlights, if you recall. So when it was daytime, the front grille looked like one metal piece, and then when they had to turn the headlights on, they would flip up from the front of the grille.
Yeah. So
and then you would see them. Now, given that these racers do have electronic lights, are you incorporating anything cool like that?
Yes, I've tackled this question by the new stuff that we're implementing. So we are going to now have the front grille removable, just like the tail lights, so that you can actually take out the front grille, including that piece in front, which then exposes the so-called the void where the headlights are, and you can now have the option of putting the pieces back on, and that closes the headlights, and you put it back on, the headlights are closed. We can't do any flipping action because of the size of it. There is no
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to actually flip.
Well, they could.
And I don't know if my mic is better now, but I think I figured out the problem.
It is. You did. I saw you do it.
I forgot to plug my laptop in. I forgot to my power cord was here out. And these mics actually have power, so that's all that happened.
Okay.
I should be fixed. No, of course we wouldn't expect the headlights to actually flip, but to be able to have, I guess, those 2 grill looks. So then you have working headlights on one, and then the solid grill on the other. That is a really cool feature, and I'm glad it's working now. I apologize in setting up. I plugged in all the stuff and I forgot my power cord. So hopefully you guys can hear me now.
It's all good. These mics draw so much power. I think that's the reason. So yes, you are back and sounding fabulous. So awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
Good.
That is great. So, I was just sitting here like, I want to ask questions.
I know. I was like, we cannot have this without the toy sorcerers. I'm glad you figured it out. All right. So we got the BL version. Yes. We have version FF as well, and this introduces the engine and the engine peeking out of the hood now, which
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never actually.
Now that's an
I
interesting
never
way
actually.
of attaching, right?
I'm sorry.
I just said that that has an interesting way of attaching to the hood of the car, correct?
Yeah, it's magnets.
Yes, which is
That's
really
crazy.
cool.
So when you were talking about tooling and stuff, like all of this stuff has to go be thought of in the design and in the tooling and in everything. It's like, I guess, how I don't know much about the tooling aspect of this. Like how does this actually work? Like what, like you render something in a prototype and then you start messing with it and playing with it and opening things and closing things and making iterations. And like I help design digital things in my day job, but not physical things. So like I can't imagine what the tooling aspect of this is.
Well, it's as simple as designing a mouse, right? Your computer mouse, right? You have to design the outlook on a software, and there are a few softwares in the market. Some softwares like ZBrush is like for making sculptural stuff. Some software like CAD is for making more mechanical stuff. So the software that is used for making tooling with CNC, computer numeric control, uses the CAD software instead of ZBrush. So ZBrush, you can't actually get the machine to carve out a tooling from a sculpt of, let's say, a action figure. That's not done that way.
Yeah.
The action figures are done with a different method. But things like clear, smooth profiles, we can actually use CNC to carve out the tool. So everything is done on the computer. It is output as a prototype. The prototype maker, especially when something has function, we're not at the level of NASA and Boeing where we can do digital renders and functionality on the computer and making scenarios and finding out what opens and closes and what interferes with the thing. We're not at that level. We don't have that kind of software. We can only do software whereby we draw the physical car, we have the physical wheels, the doors and everything, and then we output it as a 3D print, and then we assemble it together, and we implement certain sort of like scratch building something like a kit, and this is more evident in our Makina range than this, because that involves transformation. And when it's transforming, you need to find out exactly in your actual prototype what is going to work, what is not going to work. So for this guy here, it has to be in an actual prototype where we can now be able to swap out the parts that are being swapped out. For example, even the flame effects, how we remove the caps from the rims to put on the attachment points. So all these are physically implemented on the prototype. So there's a lot of variations to what a prototype is. It could just be as simple as a 3D print, and it could be as complicated as fixing the 3D print to come up with something that's workable. And then finally, when the thing is workable, it is not precise because it has now been filed and sent and whatnot by the prototype maker. Now the final piece has to be rescanned into the computer. Now whatever that we've done before is now history, right? Now it becomes it morphs into a new entity. You scan the entity, you make your symmetry on the computer, and then from then you separate the parts and put them into tooling plans. Sorry if that went on for eternity.
No, it didn't.
Oh, it's good.
It's all fascinating stuff.
Yeah. And you've got a lot of really exciting projects going on. It's incredible. I don't know if we want to move on to look at a couple of the other things, or we have more to cover on the
Yeah,
racers here.
there's just a few more things. So I guess
Oh, gotcha.
since you've already blew through 1,000 units, right? You have things upcoming
Mhm.
for crossing 2,000 and also 3,000 units, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I mean, we're not trying to be ahead of ourselves, but with everything, we want to push for more, right? Just like how if you do a campaign, if you do a project, you want to get more, right? Why not get more if you can? And we're
Yeah.
trying to push the envelope. We're trying to see how far can Ramen Racer go. At the end of the day, if we don't meet the goals, again, reach for the moon and you fall among the stars, right? So we're gonna definitely push for this. If we don't get it, we can still put our heads up high because we have
Mhm.
done 1,000,
Oh yeah.
and that's not even including our wholesale orders, right? BBTS is going to come back with some units, uh, so it's looking pretty decent, but we're trying to get the fans to share this and then see if we can actually break through to 3,000 units. But of course, before going there, we want to get to 2,000, and with 2,000 we're going to throw in this ammo crate which doubles up as a cover for the rechargeable batteries that you can purchase separately. This ammo crate or case features an opening lid, not currently shown here
Mhm.
because this is a render that we did up within hours before the live stream, because we had a meeting to see how we can actually encourage the 2,000, and we got this idea and this was quickly rendered up by our artists. So it's not going to be the exact piece from the production just yet. I'm going to actually do this from the engineer's perspective, because as you can see over there, that render of the car, the trunk, it doesn't have the bars that is on our prototype, right?
Mhm.
So that the bars is
Mhm.
gonna conflict with the ammo crate there. So we'll have to now redesign it so that it with that aesthetic involved, we will tweak it so
Mhm.
that the size and functionality will fit, and I'll obviously update everybody on how it's gonna look like when it's said and done. In addition to that, we're gonna throw in the translucent tires that has been requested many times. And
So
again, the
cool.
reason why we did not go with that in the first place is not to have it look 100% like some other projects, right?
Yes.
So we wanted to make it clear that we're
Yes.
not trying to mimic totally, but again, with the fans' requests, then we sort of like, yes, because you asked for it, we're giving it, versus we want to do it on the onset to try to mimic something else. So that hopefully can be understood. And if we do reach 2,000, the translucent tires and possibly even the transparent blower can be automatically incorporated into the Inferno pack, and the ammo case would be automatically included into the base model. So those are the extras that we is going to be promised if we hit 2,000 units. Yeah.
That's great. So we'll have somewhere to store our moonshine then if we get 2,000 units sold.
Yeah.
I had to show that comment again. Hey, any thought about maybe adding a couple of Duke Boys in there if you get to say 3,000 units sold?
Well,
I think
3,000.
you got plans for that one already.
Yeah,
I know.
3,000. We got a plan. Yeah, to make a driver. So yeah, we'll have more details in the coming days when we finish up a sculpt. Yeah,
Oh, for
That
the
that that
driver.
that makes
yeah,
me
for the driver.
really excited.
So
So again,
freaking
the reason
cool.
why we don't have all these planned already is because we never set out to do all these things. We're always adjusting as we go. We're always uh,
Mm-hmm.
sort of rolling with the punches, right? We are evolving. It was never set out to be like that. You can
Mm-hmm.
probably say as we're making things up as we go. literally, right? So
Yeah.
the whole idea came
Well,
about again when the HasLab failed. I thought to myself, there's so many demand for it from the fans. The fans are sad,
mhm.
so why not offer something for the fans so that they are not sad, right? They may be a bit more and happy, right? So I got onto that journey. Along the way, there were calls for people that don't want the flames, and then okay, let's do it this way, and then we can have the normal car, and that's why we separated out the flames from the car into different packs. And then along the way, people are saying, oh, but it doesn't have a figure, right? So okay, so if you want a figure, but we can't include a figure because a figure costs a lot, the individual tooling of the figure.
Oh yeah.
To get that done, we need the customers and fans to
That
help us
is
reach there by going the extra mile,
I would
literally, right? Yeah,
absolutely pay for the extra figures if you made something to match your orange tiger car.
yeah. So but the current figures,
Yeah.
Plan Sorceress is not the ones that you want,
Yes.
because
I
again
know.
that is
I know.
is a different
I
stretch.
know.
So
I'm just not letting
yeah,
it go, Ace. I know.
yeah,
I know what you got planned there.
yeah,
All right. So some more to come on the figure, and we'll probably see some stuff within the week, maybe
But that
I
is
would say
exciting that
at the end
you're
of the
gonna
month, maybe end of the
look
month,
like that.
end
end
of
of
the
the month.
month.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I know we're always
Very
impatient
cool.
over here, but I wanted to include these just because I wanted to get a sense of the scale, and these are on your Facebook, so I was like,
Yes,
okay, these are good.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's good. Yeah.
it's a hefty vehicle, and I
Mm-hmm.
it
think
is.
for the display purposes, I think like the scale is spot on, and like
Hmm.
it's really interesting. Like, so you were saying when you put on the flames, like the wheels will still be able to turn, right?
Yes, yes.
Like,
Yep.
so it's like it's that detail that is amazing, because you would want this thing to roll too with the flames, and so it's like
Yes.
you
Yeah.
have to think of everything.
Yes.
Hmm.
So this thing is actually just shy of 20 inches, right? It's like
Yeah.
19.6 inches. Definitely not 18, right? It's more than that. And it's like initially when I told the engineers that we wanted the flames to stay in place, they said no, you can't. Once you have the flames on, you can't move the wheels. I said no. Look at the Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce logo on the Rolls Royce on the wheel does not move as the wheels move, right? So that's I said, look at that, and then so they figured it out. But then again, with it just simply means that it's not going to be a simple axle where you plug two wheels on and that's it. It's going to be more than that. There's more engineering to go into that. And then I'm going to also include individual suspension, because I felt that
Wow.
something this big, if you can't sort of even move it, right? It's almost like a little Hot Wheels car, right? It is rigid. You can't. It, it's always nice to have something if you can sort of push it down. A Hot Wheels car is
Hmm.
definitely rigid. You don't have any suspension, so something
Hmm.
this big, when you hold it in your hands, and as you are manipulating it,
Hmm.
if you feel the car suddenly moving down on the suspension, then it gives a more feel in the terms of
Yeah.
this is something.
Mhm.
This is, it feels good, right? That
Yeah.
this wheel is coming down to my force, right? Versus I'm trying to do something and then it's actually repelling me, right? For every action there's an equal opposite reaction, right? So the,
Physics.
yeah, it's gonna just feel much better with the suspension in your hands. Yeah.
Yeah. This gets kind of similar to the scale of like an RC car, and typically those
Yes.
do have suspension, so
Correct.
it's nice. It's nice to
Yeah.
feel, kind of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
extra level of detail into there. Hmm.
So cool. All right. I know we have a lot more to cover, so I'm just going to flash through these images of just, I mean, the,
Yeah.
the attention to detail with the belt. I mean, like this is the money shot for me here. Like this thing is
With the lights on will be the money shot. Yeah. With the
oh,
lights
this
on.
one, yeah.
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 I have that one in there too, but yeah, I mean, just, you can picture this on your shelf making noise. You can picture this like
Yeah.
rolling down your hardwood floor, your tile floor with the flames and the sounds, and I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah,
So
that thing
cool.
is just incredible.
Yes, and Ace is hitting us with physics. All right. So yeah, I want to see, we all want to see Ramen Racer break the 3,000 mark. So people watching,
Mhm.
a lot of work has gone into this. You know, I would buy 2 of these myself. So
Great,
the
thank you.
orange one and the black one, and all of these things. So yeah, just picture this on your shelf, make room, whatever you have to do. You know, we would love to see this thing blow past 3,000 and just get everything that Ace has up his sleeve.
And shipping is already very economical because we've gotten enough orders to get a whole container to ship this all to the US, and then from the US
Oh,
we will
good.
dispatch them locally, which means that we can qualify for the $50 for one car, and you get
Oh.
2 cars is $90 shipping.
Oh,
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
2 cars would even be less shipping than like a 120 if you got it express from China over to the States.
yeah.
So yeah, this is
That.
one method. I mean, this is how the big boys get the stuff to you anyways.
Mhm.
They will ship it
Yeah.
from China via container. Nothing is being airlifted. Your Castle Grayskull, your Steak Mountain is not airlifted. It is all in a container. So if people can understand that, then they can appreciate more.
Yes.
Because the shipping was initially a cause for concern. They were saying that, oh, it's too expensive. But if you really put a thought into it, uh, that's how it is, right? You get it shipped over by a container, and I think even the HasLab would have gotten $50 shipping
Yeah.
for low.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's around there.
Yeah.
We did some
So
research.
Ace,
People were paying. Yeah,
mhm. I
yeah,
was just going to ask. So, can you remind all our viewers out there when your early bird pricing expires? I don't know if you covered that when
yeah.
I got knocked off
No.
line.
Yeah,
No.
Early
Okay.
bird expires on the 9th of May. Okay,
Oh,
which
okay.
means that we actually give 1 month of time for everybody to get their orders in. Again, we started this whole thing on the 9th of April, Easter Sunday, and we got to the 1,000 goal already. So we are golden in terms of getting this
Mhm.
done.
That's awesome.
It's a matter of just trying to get more orders from now until the 9th of May at the 175 price, because after that it's going
Yeah.
to be reverted back to 250, and we obviously want
Hmm.
as many people to buy it as the cheapest possible price as possible. So
Yeah.
yeah, get your orders in before the 9th of May. There's still a way to go. I think there's still like 20 days to go to 9th of May. Yeah.
Yeah. And hearing that the shipping's only going to be about $50 is
Yeah.
absolutely such a load off, because yesterday I was actually trying to buy a couple PowerCon exclusives. I'm not attending.
Mm,
I'm not on the
yeah.
non-attendee, and I got two little things in my cart, and it was like almost $100 to ship them.
There you
And I
go. Yeah.
immediately thought about, well, I'm like, and then Michael reminded me, well, they're coming probably from China or overseas. And I said to myself, well, if this little thing's like $90 to ship, I want to order your ramen racers. I got a little worried because I knew you were talking about before that the shipping price may be much more expensive because it's coming
Yes.
from China. So that's the
Yeah.
first thing that came to my mind. I kind of panicked. So hearing that your racers are now going to be $50 to ship one, and then I think you said 90 to ship two. That is great news and such a relief. I am going to be putting in my order for my orange tiger right after the show.
Thank you, thank you. And of
Yes.
course, for those of you who have
Sure.
more questions and more, you want to find out more about what we're doing, you can always join our Ramen Toy official fandom page on Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome. I think
Mm-hmm.
you have over 10,000 people already that are in your in
yeah,
your
that's right.
that's,
That's right.
that's amazing. All right. Well, cool. We have some other projects to cover,
Oh,
and we're
sorry,
gonna.
sorry, Michael. And,
Oh,
and those 10,000 are all organic. We're
that's
very proud because we have not
Yeah,
paid for
that's
any
incredible.
likes and any
that's
nothing.
that's the
we
way to do it. Like
yeah,
it's all real,
Yep,
is what you're
it's
saying.
real. Yeah, it's real.
That's awesome. So cool.
that's fantastic.
Yes. All right. We wanted to move on to
All
the
right.
Master of the Verse Heads project, and so excited for this one
Mm-hmm.
because as the Toy Sorceress and I both own these figures, we're not super impressed
Yep.
with the doll head, and I can see you're hopefully getting some things down
Yeah,
to show us.
that picture doesn't do it justice because that was taken with an iPhone.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean
Mhm.
the focal length, the lens type is all different.
Yeah.
It just skews things up. So right here you have a proper camera, and this is live, so you can actually see.
Oh, fantastic.
For those who said that the hit is too wide,
Mhm.
it is not too wide,
No.
at least in our opinion, right? So you can see that is
Mhm.
the verse 3. So this is verse 3, all right, on the Motu Origins body, all right.
That
And
looks
then
amazing. I'm so
and
glad that
then
you
That
put
looks
an
great.
Origins head
yeah,
on
this
there.
is going to be verse 1. So this is the Mattel, the actual Mattel, the hot topic, the figure that came with the so-called the wrong hit. This is the one,
Yep.
all right. So you can see how it looks
That looks
with
incredible. Super
verse.
excited about that.
There you go. And then
That looks amazing.
finally, verse 2 goes onto. It
Mhm.
also can fit onto a Super 7 rebel leader figure,
Oh,
and
great.
there you go. So you can see how the proportions, how it looks with the head.
Mhm.
And we're getting the painted samples end of this week. So by the end of this week, I'll be having another reveal of how it looks with the painted eyes and everything.
Oh, that's
It's gonna
fantastic.
look
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
I think I ordered the verse 2 on day 1 right
Thank you.
away. But now I'm thinking maybe I need the other ones as well.
yeah. I'm so glad you showed that, because like I don't like I'm looking at pictures on Facebook, and like showing the real thing is always the
Mhm.
Yes,
best. And yeah,
yes,
and, like
Yeah.
with camera angles and things like that, it's probably where you're getting some of the comments of like, oh, the
yeah,
face is too, the face is off.
yeah,
But when you see it in real life, in air quotes, it looks
yeah. It
spot on.
looks fantastic.
It looks
It's
awesome.
looking fantastic to me. Yeah.
Yes, and totally agree with Brennan. The Dolph heads are chef's kiss. It's awesome. So great. Yes, there we go.
I mean, with the little tuft of hair and everything, that spot on,
Yeah.
Ace. You did a great job. I love it. He's got
Yeah.
that
All thanks to our
80s like
sculptor,
fluff.
obviously. Thanks to our sculptor, right? It's all our sculptor's efforts.
Yeah, and I love the hair too. Like, looking how the hair flows. I mean, it looks
Oh
so
yeah.
real. It's like I've pre-ordered these things. I can't wait for them, because I do have an extra He-Man that looks like this, and I definitely want to throw these Dolph heads on there.
Right. And of course, if I may, I might actually do the proper attire for the Origins line.
Oh,
If I may, if I'm not stepping
Oh
over
my God. If
boundaries,
you do
we
that,
can.
you're gonna sell a lot more heads. Seriously. That
yeah,
is a genius idea, Ace.
yes.
And
I
I
mean,
just saw an extra He-Man today on the store shelf, I should mention.
yeah. I mean, the heads too. Like for $33 plus shipping, like that's amazing for all the work and detail that goes into this. I think it's
Mhm.
fantastic. I think I pre-ordered these the day that they went up for sale, and I cannot
Yeah.
wait to see the painted version. So I'll be
Yeah.
looking for that on your Facebook page or your live stream or wherever you show them.
And every single hit is painted by hand by talented people who are working in
Oh
the
wow.
yeah, it's all painted by hand. It's nothing is like
Yeah.
a machine. It's every single hit is painted by hand. I mean, you can actually go on Facebook. There are certain
Mhm.
entities who are showing off how these hits are done, and you can see, they have
Mhm.
a pile of hits, and it's all by hand. Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
So
They look
this is this
incredible.
is this is part of the process that I have no clue like how it works. Like, are things hand painted? Are they painted by machine? But that's amazing to know that like all
yeah,
of this attention to detail is done by a person.
Mhm.
yes, it is.
So cool. All right. So
Incredible.
if we have a huge Motu community on the channel, and so I'm sure that, if you have an extra He-Man figure, and I'm sure you've bought the movie He-Man and you are not super happy with how the head sculpts came out, just get these. Like, get them. Don't even think about it. This is a no-brainer.
Oh my God, I know. It was, again, probably some kind of licensing likeness issue, but the head we got with the movie He-Man just had a little to be desired.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know why, but we keep getting derpy He-Man heads for Masterverse, and it's just.
I don't know how they passed.
Thank you, Ace, for correcting the problem. We're
you.
very, very appreciative of that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes. All right. I wanted to. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about for the Masters of the Verse heads before we move on, Ace?
No, just look out for the painted version that's coming up really soon, right? End of the week, and there will be a last chance, a last call for us to order, because once this batch is done, I'm not gonna be doing any more. So basically, once it's sold out, it's sold out. There wouldn't be like another rerun, because it's a delicate situation, and we are presenting the opportunity one time, and I think one time is enough, because for those who want it will have to get it, and those who don't want it will not get it. There's no need for it to be there for the long run, like a shelf peg warmer. It's a one-time thing. So hopefully that when we get the it's going to look better than all these pictures, because these are all done previously with a method that is called pet printing, like how we have done our Quicksilver hits and our Commanders hits. But again, ever since I found the avenue of painting the Mavericks hit, and I've showed off that particular quality, we are now painting the hits to match that level. That's why I said wait for the painted hits at the end of the week, and then one last chance for everybody to put in their order, and it'll be a one-time thing. That's it.
Fantastic.
That's so cool.
Very
like
exciting.
this is what I love about what you do, is you don't settle. And it's like, if there's a better way to do something, you do it, but you don't think twice, and you're like, you know what? This came out better. Let's redo it. Let's make it better, and it's going to turn out fantastic. So, I mean, I like that touches me like so deep in the heart, just because of just being a fan of all of these things. It's amazing what you do.
Yeah, again, I got to bring to mind another Steve Jobs quote, and that's why I'm always doing my stuff based on this great man's ideology. Keep looking, don't settle. So I am keep looking, and I found a better way to do the hits, and I'll do the hits that way. Yeah, I could have easily done and delivered exactly what I showed in the pictures, right, of the promo of the hits, which were painted in a certain way. But I thought that this is supposed to be the real actor, real life action that we are mimicking, so it has to look more real life. The one that I had before looked more like a cartoon version of the figure, but that was before. That was what I had in my resources before. Just like how when we did the first Commanders, I had those resources before, and it wasn't the best hit sculpt, it wasn't the best look, but as I move along, I'm able to now discover and then find out what is available, and get it closer to what the fans want.
Yes.
Same thing.
Fantastic.
Same thing with the car that we just talked about, the Ramen Racer, right? The initial 3D model that I did wasn't up to par, because I had wanted to quickly deliver something to sort of pacify the failed project, right? So to do that, I got to be fast. So I just gave the team a sample that I thought looked like the car, and I said, just follow this and just do it. And when it came out in 3D, I realized that, now that you blow it up, it's going to look so bad because the details are not there. So we got to go back to the drawing board, which is what we did, right? I mean, if you look at the Facebook post before in October of last year, November, I said I'll be getting the prototype to you guys in December. But no, I didn't do that, because I had to go back to the drawing board, reconfigure everything, because that's not ramen. That quality is not ramen. It's not as simple as I thought it was, right? Just blow it up and then you can quickly get something out to the market. No, then I thought, get back to the drawing board. Let's redo this, and then we came up with this in 3 months.
So cool.
Fantastic.
That's
and
awesome.
I missed if you mentioned, but do you have your Maverick figure up for pre-order already, or are those not open yet?
So the Maverick figure, we had to now be in a negotiation stage with Paramount, right? Because I guess it was too hot to handle, and word got out to Paramount, and they got back to us to say that this is not licensed, and we said, okay, then let's talk about license. So the Maverick figure is currently being delayed until we sort out the proper legalese with Paramount, and just ask for your more patience, right? Because it's a great figure, and we would definitely want to put it out to the hands of collectors. But of course, we have to respect the intellectual property owners' wishes, and therefore we are holding it off until something can be settled. But in the meantime, we are pushing ahead with our Aces of Aviation line, which actually would have included the Maverick, right? So the Maverick was a first tease, a first taste of what the Aces of Aviation is all about. So we're going to be showing that figure at the end of the month, because it just means that with the Maverick pushed to the sidelines, we can expedite the Aces of Aviation, which includes just normal pilots with very popular F-14 squadrons from the 70s and 80s.
So
you're talking.
Are you gonna model one that looks like you, Ace, so you can call it Ace?
No. Yeah,
that would be cool.
That would be cool. I'd buy that one.
Yeah, totally.
So let me see if I can actually share, since we're on the topic. Let's see if I can share.
Yeah, go for it.
That's gonna be like, we have an exclusive, guys. Look at that.
We're breaking
news here. Hold on. Let me
take your time, Ace.
Take your time.
I just got this last night. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, as you get that set up, I just wanted to flash Horribles. I wanted to give Horribles a shout out, actually, because he messaged me on Instagram this morning that the Masterverse Wave 8 and 2 of the deluxe figures from Wave 9 of the Masterverse were on target. So appreciate that. He did have a question about shipping costs for the Masterverse heads. And I think, are those on the site yet?
Yeah, the shipping cost would be right about like $8. It's not expensive.
No, not bad at all.
We will charge it when it's about to ship, so we can actually not be worried too much about that.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Very cool. Yeah. So I think you can add this, or do you want me to add this to the stream?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So
all right, sounds good. All right, before we get to...
Can you see that? Is it coming out okay?
No, I think oh, there it is.
Oh, here it goes. It's just delayed.
Bigger?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is
the
first Aces of Aviation. All right, these are the two figures that's coming out first. The Joy Rogers VF-84 Squadron and the VF-1 Wolfpack. So these are what it's going to look like for the helmets. What you're looking at now are the AI files that will be used to print these details on the helmet. So if you have seen my Maverick figure, you have seen how detailed the helmet can be, and just reimagine this as on the helmet. But of course, no need to reimagine too much. I'll be showing the actual thing very soon. Yeah.
So cool. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for giving us a preview on that.
Yeah.
Again,
that's incredible.
Also, viewers, make room on your shelf. Just whatever you need to do, rearrange, put stuff in boxes. Like, this is going to be awesome.
Especially with collectors of G.I. Joe and all these things, Action Force, you always want a component of a pilot. So I'm going to hopefully be the first to deliver a very nice pilot figures to you.
Oh, so cool.
I actually mix scales with my G.I. Joe display where I've got my Sky Striker. So having some cool pilots, even if they're 6-inch scale, it's still going to look incredible. So I think that's just really cool, because you get the genre. You've got the jet in the background, and then the nice new figures in front of that. It's going to look great. So
great.
This is incredible.
All right.
So awesome. So that's coming
That's coming as a prototype at the end of this month, and
So
we
cool.
will look to deliver it again fourth quarter.
So great. Yeah, if you haven't followed Ace if you haven't followed Ramen Toy on Instagram or Facebook, this is where he updates everyone. So if you want to catch up with the latest, just make sure that you go over there and yes, follow his Instagram and also his Facebook because he's putting stuff out every single day and all these updates. But yeah, I wanted to move on to one of the toy lines that just is one of my favorites as a kid, the Makina line. And I'm so excited that you are actually making uh, this line because I never thought this line would get made again. And
Mhm.
especially with things like paying homage to Gloria Baker and her appearance in Mask, with her shark. And so it's funny because I watched the show religiously as a kid,
Mhm.
and this is like a toy line that I'd beg my parents to please, every time we go to the store, please buy me something, please buy me something. And it was this line, and
Uh,
it always surprised me that they never made this figure or this vehicle for the line because she appeared in more Mask episodes than probably any other Mask character, but
mm.
this vehicle and figure were never made. And so I was like, dang. But kudos to you for taking this on. But we're not here to talk about the shark and Gloria Baker. We're here to talk about the Great White and Portia White.
Yeah, that's right. Those are all very old images. We've refined it so much from
Yes.
then.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
there we go.
I got the latest, and I was blown away by these images. And I think so when you were talking about tooling for the Ramen Racer, so this is tooling to another level because this transforms.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, in terms of tooling, it's just a matter of smaller parts for the Great White versus bigger parts for the Ramen Racer. So yeah,
Yeah. And I guess this probably maybe a um, similar process to how things get designed. It starts in CAD, and then you got to put everything together, right? Once it's
yeah.
physically
As I
done.
mentioned it just now, right? We have to output the shapes that we have drawn in CAD, and then the prototype maker,
Mhm.
very talented people who are the ones that's giving all the gimmicks in the toy industry, right? So even I mean, the place that I'm getting all these done are doing stuff for Bandai, Hasbro, uh, you name it, right? So again, how it works is that the big companies would have, they will have uh, contacts in mainland China for making toys, right? So these are all again independent companies. Again, these are people with passion as well. So the people with the passion to make stuff, make themselves into a company making prototypes, and then they get the word out, and then we have big brands that look for these people, unless of course the big brands themselves have an internal R&D unit, right? So if they have an R&D department internally, then they can obviously churn this out locally in the States or UK or wherever the brand may be, and they can bring the entire project to the factory wherever that may be, whether it's in Mexico, Philippines, Vietnam, China, and they just let them produce it. That's it. However, if the company or brand does not have an internal R&D department like myself, then we
Mhm.
will have to go and source for a company like that to help us with the R&D, and that's what it is, right? So we sculpt the car, outer shape of the car, and we go to these people and say, hey, I need this to transform, so help me to transform it. That's when they came up with the first iteration, and then I said, no, this is not what I want. I gave some input, and then it came up with a second iteration, and then we discuss, we share ideas, and that's how we came up with this fourth iteration of how it should look.
It looks amazing. Like my mind is blown right now. And so when I flip from this screen to this next one, how did these kind of pop out and up onto the windshield?
So if you have seen my video on YouTube where I showed the transformation, the ends of those fins are separated pieces that get housed under the car.
Mhm.
So due to physics, it's impossible for those fins to extend that
Ah,
high if they are to be retracted into the hood of the car, which already has no space due to all the components of the wheels folding in and all this, and whatnot. So conventionally, if you look at all the previous customs that's done by fans, the wheels do not fold inwards; it folds down. When it folds down, it allows for more space for the fins to be inside the hood,
mhm.
right? But I did not want that because the way the animation folds is that the wheels folds in. Once the wheels folds in, we're having less space, and that's where all the problems come about. And the only way to do it is to have a uh, somewhere in the middle where the transformation is not fully transformed but parts form. So the ends of those fins are extension pieces that you put on so that they reach the windshield.
Awesome. So cool. So where are you in this process here? So like,
So we are currently about to tool because as of this image, we have done again further improvements. For example, one notable improvement would be the cavity and shape around the two headlights. What you see now is a flush profile, but in a certain car, those profiles around the headlights are sort of recessed. So I've done that particular improvements to that, as well as on the side of the car where the wheels form the shape round. Again, the actual piece would be more of a straight edge with curved sides, and I've
mhm.
done that change as well, along with some other nitty gritties which you wouldn't see, but it's not so important to mention. So yeah, we've done that, and then we are now ready to tool. And once we tool and show the final test shot, that's when things should explode.
Oh, can't wait
Yeah.
for that. I mean, there's so many details in also just inside the interior too, as well. And also, we can't forget.
Yes, there is a figure. Yeah.
Yes, we can't forget the figure as well. And she looks amazing.
So for the figure,
Yes.
we're not able to have the helmet go over the head. You got to decapitate the figure before you put on the helmet. So apology, but that's the way. That's the way.
So cool. So cool.
That's
Cannot
awesome.
wait for this, and definitely
Mhm.
going to be uh waiting with bated breath to see when this goes on pre-order, and when you actually get a painted prototype ready for us to see. So thank you so much for that update. So cool. So looking
Yeah.
forward to it. All
Yeah.
right. We also we have one last thing to cover, and this was uh the red Gullwing that is also on pre-order. So back in the day, this was what an IROC-Z that would change from a Chevy Camaro to a jet fighter. So
Hmm.
it's awesome. Like, yeah. So this is the painted prototype, but these
Test
shots
shot.
are amazing
Yeah.
just to see what this thing can look like. I mean, this really brings it to life here.
Yeah, we had some comments about how it looks like a kid driving a car, but just the way this scale is done, it's not possible for the figure to tower over the vehicle.
Mhm.
Otherwise, the vehicle be really
Mhm.
small. And then also in the vintage canner, this is about the size, right? Even
Yeah.
the vintage canner is about this
Mhm.
size. So if you want to make it really to scale, then the car is going to be much smaller because this actual real life car is not so big. If you put a human next to it, a human actually towers over the
Mhm.
the bonnet of the car.
Mhm.
But that's just the way it is. I
Mhm.
mean, we are following what is in the vintage, but just improving on the details and shape. So yeah, that hopefully explains this phenomenon. Even myself, I was kind of like wondering why that's the case. If we're trying to do things properly, it should look proper. But that's just the way it is, right? Any thoughts, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this definitely looks like the scale that I'm used to seeing. And no, I totally agree. Like as a human being who has stood next to a car, like yes, there are definitely proportions that you expect to see. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so
This one's exciting for me because, well, my older brother had an IROC, a red IROC growing up, and I thought it was like the coolest car ever. And I always wanted begged them to drop me off at school so my friends could see me coming out of it. But just to be, just as a extra special connection to this, and of course, you know, being a tribute to the incredible version that we had in the 80s is just really cool to see. I love all the details on it and all the ways that it can transform with the Gullwing doors. I mean, this is an incredible project. When do you
yeah.
when do you see this one being completed and shipping out to customers?
Yeah, so we are currently in a stage of coming up with the pre-production color sample, which I will again showcase hopefully
Hmm.
by the end of this week, and we'll move swiftly into production. And we aim to have it out by end of May. That's the target.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow! And is it still available for ordering, or are pre-orders closed?
Yes, it's definitely available for ordering. Again, we are still taking orders because we want to make sure nobody really miss out, and then people may be holding out initially because we only showed like
They
a
want to see what it
prototype.
looks
We showed
Mm.
some renders, some
like. Hmm.
prototypes, so people were like waiting to see the whole thing. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can see it soon, and you can have a last so-called a last chance to get it before we sell out. Yeah.
Great. And
Yeah.
and what was this one selling for approximately?
It's a 170. Yes, it's a bit pricey. People did mention that, but it is what it is based
Yeah.
on our MOQ and everything else. Yeah.
Mhm. And
I
is the
don't, I
shipping going
mean,
to be reasonable on this one,
Hopefully,
or is it shipping straight from
it,
China? Okay.
yeah, for those that have gotten our Monster, this is probably around that size of the box, and it should be around that shipping price.
so
Okay.
cool.
Very cool.
So awesome. Yeah, I was flashing a bunch of these pictures just to show off that like even the detail on the interior is unreal.
That
Like
looks incredible.
this is worth the price of admission here. Like so awesome. So many details. And then um also like the bombs too, kind of harken back to the 80s, and there's also, some other bomb variants as well. But I
Right.
mean, this looks truly amazing. Also the figure too. So I love that you're paying
Hmm.
homage to the short helmet, and it actually it has some color to it, which is great. And this is actually the first release that came out was with the short helmet because they had to make the helmets bigger back in the day for you know
Choking hazard.
yes, for choking hazard. That's right. So,
Mm. Gotcha.
but what is awesome that you just revealed too was the box art for this
Yes.
stuff. And oh my
Wow.
gosh, this unbelievable.
Right,
Yes.
right
Credit
there. It's
to
worth it. Like, look at
yeah, this is the work of Gary G, a very prominent artist in the industry.
So cool. I mean, like displaying this thing, front and back looks amazing, but I wanted
Mhm.
like this one did it for me. Like you're having this in a window display.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
with a flip top. You can flip it down without the window if you want, and then you can flip it up.
So cool. And also just like the coloring too of the box. Like I only have a
Hmm.
couple of these still in box, and I think they're the motorcycle vehicles, which are smaller and less expensive to
Yeah.
get in box. But like this totally hits the nostalgia thing for me, because I've always wanted somebody to do this line and do it right, and you've done that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely can't wait for this one. And yeah, I definitely want to, when we get this in hand, we'll definitely have to do a live stream just to show this off live,
Great.
because
Great.
you can't, especially for something that transforms. Like, yes, we will do a still image review for the site, but you have to, like, I want to hear the transformation. I want to hear the clicks, and like that's what I'm missing from toys right now is that.
Got it. So there was a comment earlier about
awesome.
the stands. So there's a stand for the Gullwing, but there's no stand for the Racer. The Racer is huge.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be like massive.
Yeah.
That's
But it's
cool.
neat that it does come with a stand.
Yes, for the Gullwing. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Any updates kind of in the process for the Gullwing that you can share right now?
Yeah. Waiting for the pre-production sample by the end of this week, and I'll show that to everybody on our site once I get it.
Cool. I can't wait.
Oh.
It's very cool. Well, awesome. So that yeah, I think
That's
that brings
exciting
us.
news.
Yeah, that brings us to our conclusion with Ace. And Ace, we wanted to really thank you for coming on and showing all this stuff, and especially giving us our viewers a little preview as to what is to come. And you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again, like the way that you bring in people to this process is like no other I've ever seen. So I really appreciate it, and the fans appreciate it as well.
Thank you.
My pleasure. We do.
My
And
pleasure.
I'm sorry I gave you a hard time about the figures. The figure that comes with your racer looks incredible.
Yes. So
Okay.
yes, we can't wait to see that and whatever you have.
Can't wait to see that. Yes. We're just ever so grateful for all your products, Ace. And whatever you bring us. I mean, we're just super happy for the incredible things that's coming out of Ramen Toy.
Thank you.
Yes, and yeah, we will let you get on with your day, and we are going to wind down this stream, but we are also going to start up another stream pretty soon. So this is our after party that we have with our junkies and addicts level for membership. And so once we conclude this stream, we're going to jump on to the unlisted live stream that everybody should have seen in the posted in the community section over this past week. So once we pop off here, we will just give us a few minutes and we will pop on to that stream. But Ace, thank you again. And yeah, if you want to tell folks where to find you, how to pre-order these things, go for it.
Well, thanks, Michael and Sorceress, for having me on the show once again. I really appreciate it to help me have the platform to speak to your audience and put the word out for Ramen Toy. Yeah, we are available on Facebook. You can find us there. For some of you who don't have the account to Facebook, you can find us on Instagram, or you can go to our website, ramentoy.com. And yeah, we are working effortlessly on our projects, and we hope to deliver all these things to you as soon as possible. Help us to reach 3,000, maybe 2,000 first, and then hopefully we can get the 3,000 for Ramen Racer, and more things, great things to come as I go into the laboratory to prepare stuff for you guys. Thank you, Michael and Sorceress.
That is incredible. And I actually want to give a shout out to Justin for a super chat, which I'm furiously looking for. Here it is. I apologize, Justin. We had so many comments going by, but thank you so much for your super chat. We want to just insert this win in shirtless chest on your Insta and 1/12 scale. What is it? I think he was probably talking about one of the figures on your Instagram page, but Justin, thank you so much for that, and we apologize for missing that in the flurry of comments that went by.
So if I want to address that, finally, it is something that I would reveal further once I have confirmation on whether we're going the license route or the third-party route. Hopefully license. Yeah.
Okay. More to come.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic. So A quick question, just a little housekeeping. Were you guys able to hear me when I was just talking about our merch shop in the beginning? Because I know my mic was not working well. Is there anything else you want me to cover with that, or we heard enough?
No, I think we're good. I think everyone everyone got it.
Okay.
But you know, we'll definitely cover it one
Awesome.
more time. But Ace, we will let you get on with your day, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in. And yes, we are on a different day this week. We just had some commitments to do yesterday, but we will be back this coming weekend at our regularly scheduled time Saturday. So don't fret. But thank you again for tuning in. Toy Sorceress, any parting words for folks?
I just want to thank Ace for coming on the show. You have incredible product, such vision, such insight, and thank you for listening to the fans and bringing us these amazing, nostalgic, modern 80s takes on toys that just pull at our heartstrings. And
Thank you.
I'm still asking for Bone Luke, so
Sure.
maybe someday. I won't stop. All right. Well, thank you, Ace. It's been great having you on.
Yes,
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, and viewers, we'll see you next week. And addicts and junkies, if you can, and if you have time, pop on to our other live stream, and we will see everyone in a bit. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, everyone. And we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.